All right, welcome. And now we're going to talk about something called the difference quotient. And we're going to start by reviewing and recalling the average rate of change formula for the slope of the slope of the line that connects 2 points on a curve, right? So if you recall, we have the slope as taking 2 points on a curve, and we connect those by a straight line, and we find the slope of the line that connects both of those points, and we use that as the average rate of change on a curve. And so this was just the slope formula. You take the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. Okay, now to derive the difference quotient, we're just going to make one small change here. So instead of looking at two different points this way, what we're going to do is, let's say we have an arbitrary point, and we'll just call it x and f of x. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we want to find another point on the curve by doing one thing. All we're going to do is add some positive real number to x, right? Because if we go out, right, so if we're on the x-axis, if you think about the x-axis down here, right? Okay, and we're here, right, at x. Well, if we go out some distance, let's say out to here, and we call this distance, right, whatever this other x value is, but to get to that x value, we have to add h, right, some positive integer, right? And so we could say, oh, this point right here is just x plus h, right? We can always use this as a reference. So if we're going to add, so this point here we'll just call x plus h. And then what we'll do is this x coordinate here, we'll just change this x coordinate a little bit, and we'll call this x coordinate x plus h. And then of course the function is going to be the value of the function, y value is f of x plus h, right? And so now if I write it using h, right, using this notation, then what the slope becomes written as, it's going to be f of x plus h minus f of x divided by, or what? It's going to be x plus h minus x. And of course, the denominator simplifies, so it'll become f of x plus h minus f of x in the numerator divided by, well, in this case the x's cancel out and we're just left with h, and this is what we call the difference quotient. Okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the difference quotient to evaluate things. Now, the difference quotient is very important in calculus, especially when we talk about limits and finding the slope of a tangent line. Okay, so it's beyond the scope of this course, but this is good to know. It's as a primer. All right. So with that, we'll do some examples.